Hi guys, welcome back to another one of Kevin's big adventures as we go through the next stages of our caravan renovation. So this is part 4 where we're building a bed. So don't forget to like and subscribe and follow us, or step back to our earlier episode so you can follow all about our caravan reno. Now in this episode we're building our double bed to go inside the caravan. I'm not going through step by step the stages to build the slat frame. That's something that is fairly obvious and fairly basic. Just make sure you get your measurements right and check them multiple times. Once we got the timber structure built, which we measured it up, tested it, took it in and out of the caravan multiple times, we then start on the important part, which is actually the bed base. So the timber we use, I'm just showing you here. Now it's just a premium pine, and no, we're not sponsored by the provider of the pine, but I just wanted to use these bits because it was easier to show you guys the sizes that we used and the different types of pine. Now we also use 2 different thicknesses of ply. So here's one that I'm showing you here, and then this is the really thin one, because it's important. We needed to keep the weight down. You don't want to end up with the caravan too heavy that you can't tow it. So I will go in a later episode and talk you through how that happened. So anyway, so we had to keep watching the weight as we were constructing the bed base. So we started painting it, but you can see at the moment this is looking at it from upside down. So you've got the bed that will lift up, and this is the structure. So we built everything modular so we could take it all out as we went along. Now we also then filled the hole, as you can see there in the center of the floor, which originally was for a table, so it had a little hole that went down, and we filled that from both top and bottom with some builder's bog. Then we started to put some glue down on the floor so that we could put the flooring down that we had picked. Now it's not fancy flooring, but we wanted something with a little bit of insulation, particularly underneath the bed. So I wanted something that was quite thick, so we went with a reasonably thick modern lino that looks like wood, because I wanted something simple, easy to keep clean, because you can just wipe this off or dust it. So we measured all of the pieces up, cut them all out perfectly, laid them all down, then took them all out and glued them down in, and we used water to make sure it didn't trim. Now all they were was offcuts. So then we started to bracket everything in place, and you would remember in my last episode I mentioned that we put wood covers over the wheel arches in the van so that we could actually utilize it better. Then that we took it all out again so that I could paint it, and that was very entertaining to get it all painted and then slot it all back into position. After we got into position and we started experimenting with it, we found that there was bits that we really didn't need, so that we actually cut them and trimmed them off, so it gave greater access under the bed. But it's one of those things, when you're building something from scratch, you get to adapt it yourself. So with the bed head, we just made a fixed structure that didn't move, to accommodate what we wanted and to go around the bed frame. But we marked everything up to make sure it all went into place nicely, and we gave it edging, and you can see how the structures are coming together. So it was quite a wide slat that we used for the bed itself. And then the understructure, you can see we wanted to give ourselves enough access so we could push stuff into spots, and we basically worked it out on what we would want to use regularly and what we wouldn't need to use very often, and then bracket everything into position. We did at the foot end of the bed just give one single slat to our foot locker, which I had gone through how we built that in earlier episodes, and then we just started it. Now we decided we were going to have a drawer like you would have at home underneath the bed, so we built most of the drawer structure out of melamine with a timber frame for the base, and then some thin ply, because we didn't want it, as you said, too much weight, so we're trying to keep our weight down. but we wanted something where we could pull it out when we first pulled over onto the side of the road, get the hoses out that we needed, get the spare tables out, get all these bits and pieces that previously had been stored in the back of the car. So I was trying to get stuff out of the back of the car with easy access. So then everything came out again for the final checks. So after we started the painting, we decided, as I mentioned, that we were putting the bed in. So these are all the bits for the bed front that we put in with our drawer. So that long bit's for the drawer, and these were all cut out and given a nice edge so that I could paint them. Now that's a tip for you. Put either toothpicks or something in the holes when you're painting them. Just makes it look nice. So we put, like we've done in previous episodes, the primer paint on because it soaks in, and then we coated it with the aquatic paint to give it a nice finish. So here we are with it in place. Now the other thing we did was we got some struts. So these are struts that we picked up. Now I've seen some different ones on YouTube, and when we went to see caravans inside, some of them had 2 and some of them had 3. So we bought 3 to be on the safe side, but we ended up only using 2, one for each side. So you can see them here. This is one in place, and it does make it so much easier. So I'm going to demonstrate now how the drawer operates. And there is room on each side of the drawer, because remember it is only a tiny 14-foot caravan, but there is room on each side of the drawer so that you can actually have the drawer open and stand beside it. And then this is my little door here that I wanted to add, so I could just have a spot to drag the foldable dog bed out when we arrived on site. Now at the moment there's no handles on this, so it made it a little bit entertaining to get it out to show you guys. But this is generally the design. And no, we're not sponsored by the clamp manufacturers or anybody else on this channel. So we put everything into place, and now I'm going to show you just 2 fingers to lower the bed, noting I haven't got the mattress on the bed yet. Now you'll note that we have quite a wide base here, and that's because we decided to go with a futon mattress, and that was my personal preference. So everything was measured up against the mattress, so we bought the mattress in advance. And I showed you in previous episodes the storage stuff that we built around the edge of the base, so that the bed would sit in nice, and so you could get an idea here. So then we got some really nice handles. Now the handles we picked because they had a nice smooth edge, so if you got out of bed they wouldn't cause problems. And of course you have to have some nice pretty locks so that the drawer doesn't go opening while you're driving up the road. Now we haven't put the lino into situ on this side of the bed base yet in this episode, and you'll see why in later episodes. So thanks for watching area, so stay tuned to the channel.